Ali. I'm the co-founder and CEO of LegalMate. We've been building this company for the last 4 years, have done a lot of different things, but focus on helping law firms work more efficiently and help them make more money. I'm going to also be introducing my partner today in the seminar, Ryan. Actually, Ryan, I'm going to let you introduce yourself because you're here with us.
Yeah, thanks. So I work out of Oregon. I'm a family law attorney here, run a small practice with one other attorney and a couple of legal assistants, and came across this software that will help me integrate my Dialpad with Clio, which was helping with billing. And yeah, excited to share about it.
Awesome. I'm going to just talk a little bit about agenda. Brian just gave a little bit of background about himself, why I use Dialpad, AI and law, overview of our integration, and then I'll just interview Ryan about what worked, what doesn't work, why are you using it, a lot of things about, one of the craziest things with Ryan is like he's increased his billable hour with us and is making more money, which is always awesome. So I'm going to also talk a little bit about that. So a bit more about like how practical AI can actually affect your firm and help you make more money at the end of the day. So I'm going to start off with just a quick overview of Dialpad. Dialpad is a VoIP system. It does text, it does voice, MMS, SMS. It allows you to quickly port over your phone. It has an AI transcription built in out of the box for all of their services. It has a desktop, mobile, and also desk phones. It has an IVR system built into it, so you can press one for this, press two for this. Also transcribes your voicemails, and it's an open API, which means that we can integrate with it very seamlessly and go pretty deep. And it's been a lawyer favorite for a while. And yeah, if anyone has questions, feel free to ask me about Dialpad. If not, I am going to go over our integration now. And after I go over integration, I'm going to put Ryan on the hot seat of interviewing him a little bit about it. So we're LegalMate. We have built an integration between Dialpad and Clio, and it does a lot more now underneath the umbrella. First big feature that we have is an automated call entry. So every time you make a call, it will automatically create an entry for you inside Clio with all of your details, such as who called, when they called, how long was the call, and it will also have a full transcript and an AI summary. Will also link out to your Dialpad call and it will automatically match it to your contact with the same phone number. And if it has a matter, it will add the matter to it. We also name the title of it using AI and add all of the description about the call. As I said, we will add in your full AI, full transcript. The reason for that is it will allow you to do full text search inside Clio. So if there's a word that you said inside the call that you're like, I wish I can find it, you can type it in your full text search inside Clio and you're able to find it right away. We also pull in the AI summaries. We take your transcript and the context from your matter and create an AI summary for you. So tell you a little bit about more about what you talked about. It's a quick glance on it. Then we also add the action items for it from the call, allowing you to know what to do next. Another new feature that we've introduced is the AI structured notes. So we take all of your transcript and we actually create a full note inside of your Clio, telling you a lot more detail about what the call was about with the headlines and everything else. So you can, if you ever want to see what the call was fully about, you can come look here. No more taking notes inside of your phone call. This allows you to stay fully focused on your client and have all of your information in one place. This is one of my favorite features. It has the automatic time entries with AI description. So what you can do is you can, after a phone call, it will automatically create an AI entry for you with a full description of what the call was about. It will be a short description with the time entry part of it. You can make it as a billable or a non-billable. You can also turn it on for certain people inside your law firm if you don't want everyone to have that. Only a few people who actually bill will have it. And this will allow you to make a lot more money. We'll hear from Ryan, but I've heard from other law firms too. Is all of a sudden they've increased their billable hour by a lot. Just because if you're making those 5, 10 minute phone calls that you forget to always bill for now, these will automatically get billed out. Excuse me. We also do text message sync between Dialpad and Clio. I know, Ryan, you use this too. So it allows you to build between your Dialpad and your Clio. So if you're texting from Dialpad, all of your information is coming inside Clio, and then you can build for your text messages too if you want at the end of the day. And These start from on a daily, whatever text messages you're doing daily, it will create one communication for you for that text message. And then end of the day, it will conclude that. And then if you send a new text message, it'll create a new communication. So it's creating like snapshots of the daily communication logs. Does this integrate with other systems such as Go High Level? No, right now, Val, we are very much focused on Clio and making it really work well with Clio. And then we might be doing more in the future. This is one of my other favorite features, which is like you can create prompts inside our communication. So in this case, this is write me an email after a phone call. So you can see there's an email right there that you can copy and paste. You can ask it a bit more detail, be like, hey, I am a law firm in Oregon. I practice family law, and please make my emails very short and concise with all the context of what I talked about in the phone call. And it will automatically make that email for you inside your communication. So you will never start from a zero email. You'll always have something to work off, and you can edit it, copy and paste it, and send it out to your client. As I was saying, AI prompts, what are they? So you can add a prompt inside our communication, asking it to do other things like asking it to write an email, asking it to classify the call. So if it was an intake call versus a client call versus, someone was angry, you can ask it to do all of these different things, instantly generate an email draft based on the call content. So in the end, this kind of allows you to not manually ever tag your calls, no more rewriting the email that you want to send, and easily find the call. Okay, so that's what our integration does. I'm going to take a moment, and now I am going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to interview Ryan about how he uses our integration and what he found the most useful in it. So, Ryan, my first question to you is like, how did you hear about LegalMate and what piqued your interest?
I saw LegalMate on an Instagram ad, and I am a big fan of Dialpad. I've used it since I opened my practice, and I use Clio because that just seemed to be the most common software for it. And I saw the integration for it because I'm a big fan of both services, but I found myself quite often at the end of the month going back through my Dialpad history to try to bill my time. And I like any of the integrations where I don't have to do it. And I have a few people that work for me, so I can't always track their time as well. And LegalMate to solve that problem for me.
Got it. And Ryan, how long have you been using Clio for before?
I've been using it for about 3.5 years.
Got it. And then, Ryan, this is a question that generally firms ask me. It's like, why do you use like a VoIP service versus just using your own phone? And what are the advantages of using like a dial pad? Because I know some firms don't want to give out their personal cell phone numbers and etc. So, like, what was your rationale behind using Dialpad over just giving out your own personal phone number?
Yeah, I was at the Department of Justice for a number of years before this, and I always had a work phone and a personal phone, and it just annoyed the heck out of me. So I knew when I was opening my own practice, I wanted to be able to have everything on my phone, but not be able to not have to give out my personal cell phone number to people. The advantage of Dialpad is there's just an app that gets added to your phone, but when people call you, it goes to your cell phone like any other call, and you can keep stuff siloed. So no one that I work with or any clients have my personal number, but I don't have to carry around a second phone. I thought that service was nice. I also had my first legal assistant wanted a more traditional like desk phone setup, like at a normal law office, and it offered that ability as well. And I do most of my work on my laptop. So just it was a little more cross-functionally appropriate for all the different things we wanted. And the other attorney I ended up hiring, he liked having Android. I have all my stuff on iPhone, but because it's integrated through that, you have less problems for how it works in different platforms like that. So I've only used Dialpad, so it's hard for me to say it's way better than every other service, but for me, it's made a lot of sense. And I haven't used anything else, and I haven't wanted to look for anything else.
Got it. And I've talked a little bit about this, but how long did it take you to integrate with us? Because a lot of people ask me that question, and I'm like, take 5 minutes. I wanted to hear from your experience.
Yeah, it happened immediately. And I was there earlier on, like when we first just had the phone calls being integrated. And then I
Yep.
was already part of it when we had the text message integration. Because at least in my practice, I'm noticing a lot of people leaning towards wanting to communicate at least some via text message while they're handling their workday or what have you. And being able to capture those communications in time when that came out, that was an important feature. But the initial like setup process, it's just a couple clicks of the button. And the thing that was nice is it integrated my stuff, but all three other people that work in my office, their stuff just gets tagged on with it. So we didn't have to do setup of the software for everyone in my office. It just automatically worked.
Sounds good. How has LegalMate integration changed your practice? I know I want to talk a little bit about like how you're billing a little bit more now and all of that. So walk me through like previously do your law practice and after integration, like what changed for you on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, it's on a billable hour thing. It's so hard to capture time. There's just little things that slip all the time, like a quick phone call or a text or what have you. And all that time adds up. And sometimes I think we've all been there. You spend 8 hours working on cases all day and then you've billed 4 at the end of it. And some of it's because you're just on phone calls or jumping in between things. And it helped me capture some more time that I wasn't tracking as well before, but also I bill out my paralegal and legal assistant, and tracking their time was even harder, making sure that they were always keeping up on when people called them on a certain case, that it was going to get tracked and that I knew what they were talking about. So it was capturing my assistant's time as well. And I definitely capture and bill more time than LegalMate costs me, probably by 3 times as much, because all those point ones at the end of a month add up quite a bit, especially when you have a high billable rate. So I was pleased with that. Also, I never handwrite notes anymore during phone calls, which is pretty nice because I know I'll have a summary and transcription afterwards. It's happened 3 times this last week where I handled a call for someone on initial consultation, and then I wanted to pass the case to my associate attorney, and the summary was already there with the transcript on it in my communications log within Clio. And just being able to do that without having to say, where are my notes, or figuring stuff out with that, that's been pretty helpful. So on a practical, just summary and keeping track of communications, it's helpful, but I would do it just for the automatic billable entry with a phone call. It makes it worth it.
Sounds good. And then, yeah, I know Ryan, you and I talked this initially was like you're thinking about keep expanding your law firm over time, and this is helping you set up the foundation for it. As you said, like working with your assistants and your paralegals and now your associate. Was that kind of part of your equation when you were initially even thinking about this, or this is like an add-on bonus now for you?
Yeah, it's always part of it. Developing systems. When you're just a one-man show, it doesn't really matter what your systems are because you can do it however you want. But when you're hiring people, you want to be able to replicate a system and capture, as much revenue as possible, because every person you add just adds additional costs. So for me, saying at the end of the month, I'm just going to go back and make sure I entered everything in my from my call log. I can't replicate that with other assistants or with other attorneys, but if I know that part of their standard practice is that they need to be billing regularly, but also I know that they won't ever miss a communication because it's already captured through the LegalMate integration, then I don't have to worry that they're leaving money on the table essentially from it. So one of the pitch I gave to this recent associate I hired was he has a minimum billable requirement. And I
Yeah.
said, well, sometimes attorneys struggle with just making sure that they capture their time, but you have to know that if you're having any of your time be via phone call or text message, you will capture it. So if you don't meet the minimum, it's not because you just forgot about time you worked. And I think that's a helpful pitch to people that are trying to hit a minimum billable requirement. But that having a standard in place and having systems in place so we can grow. We're interviewing another attorney right now, and it's nice to know that we have a system in place for it.
Nice. I'm gonna switch a little bit of gears and talk a little bit about AI and how you thought about implementing inside of your own law firm. So like, talk me to like, hey, what kind of use cases came to your mind right away, and what was your kind of first steps on thinking about it and integrating it inside your law firm on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, well, I'm a fan of AI. I come from a more of a business background. I have an MBA from University of Oregon, and I'm in a PhD program for business as well. And in any of those, I remember working through these, and just like sometimes when you're doing basic math and you realize a calculator could probably do it, sometimes at these higher levels, you realize there can be some automation and intelligence that gets added into it. And I remember when ChatGPT came out, it started with just basic questions. And then pretty quickly there was add-on services to things like that for things like contract review. And because of my background, I do some business and contract review. And I think ultimately AI is going to have to play a vital role for people that oversee contracts or do estate planning or things that have to be included and that there is a basic form and structure because it just eliminates another layer of human error. I think in my practice, I do a lot of discovery review, and I think AI is going to play a greater role in that down the road, although it doesn't have a huge role in it right now. And I think you're seeing, like within Clio, they're always advertising some AI integration, and Dialpad is doing it as well. But
Yeah.
ultimately, using these things as a tool, if you're not, I think you're going to get left behind on some of these things, and you're just leaving yourself more open to error if you don't use AI at all in your practice.
Sounds good. I know we've got like about 6 minutes or so. I don't know. If Mitch, if you have any questions for Ryan on how he's using it and how he's like working his firm, happy to have those. I know Val asked, does LegalMate integrate with OpenPhone? Not yet. We are mostly focused on Dialpad and going to be launching new integrations in the near future with other systems. Otherwise, Ryan, thank you so much. If you have other thoughts about integrations that you like with Clio or how you've grow in your practice, I would love to also hear those.
I don't have anything right now. Sometimes when a new integration comes out, it seems obvious that it should have been in place before. But
Yeah.
for me, the initial thing was when I saw the advertisement that's saying, hey, I don't have to go and put Dialpad up in one screen and Clio in the other and make sure I've written both things down, that it just does it for me. Like anytime you think that if they just capture an extra half an hour for me or an extra hour for me, it
Yep.
pays for itself. It's a seems like an easy jump to try out.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for everyone joining this seminar. And then Ryan, also thank you for doing it with us. If you want to check us out, our website is legalmate.co and shoot me a message or a email. We're always available. And yeah, thank you so much. Otherwise, if anyone doesn't have any questions, we're going to be done. And then Ryan, thank you so much for doing this with us and jumping on the call.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Mitch, for jumping on and Nick. And yeah, take care, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
dude.
Always good to
Yeah,
hear how folks are using it.
yeah, thanks,
Yep.
Mitch. Have a great one.
Take care. Bye, guys.